Hi, I'm Danny, and we're here with May from the Bradford 2025 City of Culture bid. Hi, May. Can you just tell us a little bit about what this bid is and what the process is?
Hi, Danny. Hi, Joe. Thanks for having me. So Bradford as a district is bidding to be UK City of Culture in 2025. I'm part of a team who are getting a bid together to give to judges who will award this City of Culture, which is basically a year of investment for cultural arts activity. So the last people that have had it before has been Hull, and then currently Coventry have got it. So bless Coventry, they're doing it in Covid. They're starting in May. Yeah. So the process of a bid is, so a bid is a written document. It's like it's a book of ideas. It's a kind of, we will do this. This is why we want to be City of Culture, why we deserve it. This is how it will change our city and how it will develop what's going on here. And this is what we'll do if we get it. So at the moment, we're in the phase where we're having lots and lots of conversations with people around Bradford. So it's like community groups, council leaders, arts organisations, education sector, like really getting a broad kind of view of things and having conversations about what people want to see. We're conjuring up ideas, really bold ideas that will be properly put Bradford on the map and really have an impact in the district as well. It involves we've commissioned 5 bits of research so that we can kind of talk about where Bradford is at now and what a difference having City of Culture will make. So we're looking at things like economic impact and social impact and tourism, because the bid and getting the bid would just intersect with all bits of the city and the district, really.
And without giving the game away, can you tell us a bit about some of the big cultural events that you've got planned, if it's not top secret?
Yeah, I mean, what I can talk to you about is the themes, I think. We're kind of thinking about what's distinctly Bradford, what could only happen here, what are the stories that we want to tell. And so we've got like themes that we're working up, and then everything will kind of fall under them, and it'll help us kind of sell what we are. And we're thinking these themes, they're kind of work in progress, but the themes are City of the World, and we know that Bradford's proper international, and that involves out and in stories and connections. I don't think this one's got a name, but Young City, basically, and the kind of like the generation, the kind of wisdom. I think we're thinking about the wisdom in the generations, and especially in our young generation, that's really big, and having youth at the centre of what we're going to be doing. Another one is about reuse, and reveal, and we're thinking about how we are kind of resilient as a district, and like thinking about the way that we're ready and for climate issues, how we're tackling them, and how like art and culture can really ignite that conversation around it. And then what's the other theme? Oh, the other theme is kind of like, we do it differently here. So it's thinking about like yes, I love that nod to that. Which kind of makes sense, doesn't it, in your heart? But I guess what we mean by it is like how radical in some ways Bradford is, and the history of like innovation here, and the Labour Party and school dinners, that continues. Like we're really like progressive. So the big things that might happen could be, it's also just like not confirmed.
Not quite real yet. Not quite tangible.
It's not quite real, but with, city-wide festivals, district-wide kind of like activities, like tours of Bradford-based work all over the world, like hosting exhibitions, having family events. Like it would just sweep the city with activity.
Sounds amazing. Looking forward to 2025 when
yeah,
Bradford definitely wins this.
Yeah, because when you say like international city, it really is. It's people from all over the world here, and then doing it all right. The more I've travelled the rest of the country and some other parts of the world, the more I feel that Bradford really is like quite a unique place and sort of a city unto itself, and there's a different feel and atmosphere to almost anywhere else I've been. So if you're talking about culture, yeah, Bradford does have like its own unique amalgamation of culture, and I think it'd be fantastic to let some of the rest of the country see that. Actually, yeah.
Totally, and it can change how people, like, obviously we want it to attract people and for people from outside Bradford to start like a different picture in their mind of what Bradford is and come here, but also in the district. I think like we were just talking about, like, people sometimes don't have as much confidence as they could do, I think, in Bradford. And like, you know, funding is a problem, and it can mean that there's loads of like ambition and dream, and quite often I feel like we could do more than we are in some ways. That's not to say that there isn't loads of arts and culture happening already, because there definitely is, but I feel like it's different.
There's unfulfilled potential here, isn't there?
Yeah.
With a bit more funding and a bit more confidence, there's some potential here which we can just bring out of the city, I think. And this City of Culture bid could be the perfect way to do that. I'm quite excited about it already, as you can tell.
And I guess the important thing is like you were just saying, like, that it captures what you just tried to say, which is like the vibe of Bradford, isn't it? Like, why here and why not anywhere else? And I think like we might know that, but kind of like explaining that is going to involve us talking, like we were just saying, to loads of different community groups and people and different areas in the district as well. So yeah, it's a big job.
I think like you said though, we know it intuitively, but actually this is going to help for Bradfordians as well to understand why Bradford is a unique place, more than just knowing that it's a unique place.
With the themes like the reusability and the climate change, because obviously that's a huge thing that's going to affect the world. What do you think some of the things that from Bradford that do give it a place where it can maybe innovate a bit with dealing with climate change?
So one example is a project that's kind of bubbling away a bit, which is thinking about the mills and how like we can reuse the mills, because I guess like repurposing buildings is the ultimate green act, isn't it, rather than building others and knocking things down. And so I think repurposing mills to be used for like community and arts would be amazing. And like they're so part of our image, aren't they, of Bradford? And that's a way. But also like also to do with like how we're resourceful. And I mean, actually it doesn't have to cost the earth to do stuff, and we've got like a DIY kind of culture, I think, in Bradford, where of organising and of, which I know in the kind of like art scene, but I think it happens in every sector really, where people in Bradford just like move and get stuff done and do it DIY. And I think that again is like a really resourceful, dynamic scene. But yeah, I do think as well we've got to, like, by 2025, thinking about the climate emergency and being green and really like on it with that is going to be it's going to be even more mainstream than it is now. So I think in a way we're having to like push a little bit, not, you know what I mean, to be able to respond to that. I mean, it shouldn't be that it's just suddenly an issue now, like, oh God, we've got to think about that. It absolutely intersects everything, but at the same time, like I think we all need to be moving quite a lot quicker than we are. So definitely. That theme is a challenge and is a nudge. And I think thinking about our we've got ideas about land art and like how we can, the landscape that we've got can be used as a canvas, but also that can be used to start a conversation about accessing the countryside and about how we treat the land that we live and have a connection to it. So that kind of stuff would be, yeah, really cool.
And I guess leading by example on the climate change stuff, so that the year of culture in Bradford is not a massive carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you mentioned there with linking, getting people thinking about the countryside and the rural areas, Bradford does have some quite interesting geography on itself, because you've got urban areas quite close to rural areas. You've got all the hills, the rivers, the canals. Is that going to be part of the bid process, and something you're looking to emphasise?
Yeah, so I think there's 24 BD postcodes.
Yes.
So it goes out to like Skipton, right?
Yeah, and Ilkley, yeah.
There's still, yeah.
I don't think Skipton is, but Ilkley is, yeah.
I think Skipton is.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think
Skipton
there's I think some BD 24s. I remember being in Skipton and I was on a walk, and this family was looking at the estate agents, and they went, bloody hell, it's a Bradford postcode.
yes. Sounds like Skipton.
Oh,
yeah.
2026 they'll be kicking themselves that they didn't go for a Bradford postcode.
What they did, yeah, exactly.
Year after, yeah.
The year after, every bit, yeah.
The year after, yeah. Yeah, so it does involve all those places, and that is a massive strength and really exciting, because it's like we've got all these different like centres of where things can happen. So I think it's a bit of a it's a complex place, but we're keen in terms of access and stories and connection, that it doesn't just feel like everything happens in City Park. You know, it's like it's what's happening in Haworth, what are the communities around Bingley doing, it really has got to speak to like all the different places. And it'd be interesting, wouldn't it, to just change the feeling of centres, like by stimulating something happening somewhere. So say there was a massive piece of land art that you could access from Haworth, it instantly changes the centre, doesn't it, of where the things are happening.
People start congregating around that, And
it'd be good to get people moving around different parts of Bradford as well, because a lot of the time people from Bingley, where me and Danny grew up around, go to Leeds.
Yeah.
So they go to Bradford.
Yeah.
So getting people from there going into Bradford, getting people from in Bradford going out to Haworth, Bingley.
Yeah, definitely. And like just being smart about where things happen in the district. Like I know Commonwealth Theatre recently did a show in Homewood in the centre there, and it was like they just took it over. The lights were massive, and you know, like I know that like hundreds of people went, and it's just, I don't know whether like they do it again. You know, I haven't spoken to them, but just that would normally happen in a big theatre, I guess. And it's that idea of like things being just spread around, and that's what Bradford does well, I think. Like it does do things differently, and like we want to be able to program stuff everywhere. We're thinking a lot about outdoors things at the moment, obviously, like because of COVID, and it's although we've got this roadmap, it still is going to be, people feel safer outside, don't they? And so like I think that's where the landscape kicks in and thinking about the spaces that we can use.
What about interactions with things that would normally be inside and the landscape, like a theatre production outside in the landscape, some dance outside in the landscape?
Definitely. Or like cinemas, or that are outdoor cinemas, or absolutely. And like even walks, you know, you could program, like lots of people come to Bradford to walk and to the district to walk. That's a big pull for tourism. So thinking about things like sculpture trails, or, you know, stuff that is kind of not necessarily about crowd building, but is to do with like exploring where.
True,
yeah.
Spread out, yeah.
Are you linking much with, I guess you probably are, with all the museums in Bradford and the district?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of different things to support our team. We've got a steering group, we've got a board, and we've got an inclusion and what they called engagement and inclusion group. And then we also have, like I was saying, these regular round tables. So museums and galleries some people sit on the steering group, and then also we're like gathering kind of like conversations together around those bits. But yeah, it's been really good actually to have those steering groups to like sound stuff off, because actually the team that work are quite small. I think there's 6 of us. So yeah, so museums and galleries will be definitely involved, and like it would be thinking about where they want to be in 2025 and what and beyond, because a lot of it as well is about like the legacy. So yeah, what exhibitions would they host? Could they do things outside? Could they collaborate? Who would they program? Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, community spirit. And since you said you've got a small team, how can people, you know, pitch in and help out, and join in and help with this bid and help us to win this bid? Yeah.
So one thing is just like spreading awareness that we are bidding and getting people to know that we're bidding, and you can do that just through conversations, like if you know, but also we've got quite a good social media presence which involves takeovers of different people. Basically each week someone else in Bradford takes over our social media. So yeah, first thing is like keeping in touch yourself, spreading the word that we're bidding. If there are kind of like ideas and suggestions, then we've got that's mine and Bakiza's job really, is to listen to those things and set up meetings or conversations. We really wanted to be more out at the moment. Like we were wanting to, you know, have meetings in town halls where it's super open. We wanted to be on the streets talking, and we obviously haven't been able to do any of that. So keep an eye out, I guess. If you can follow us on social media and stuff now, keep an eye out for when stuff's happening. But also if you're connected to a group and we're really wanting people to start talking about dreams for 2025. So if you're connected to a group or an organisation, we've got a whole resource pack which is about what is 2025, and it's got some prompts for activities and stuff in there, so we can either come and deliver a session or hand you the resource pack to be able to talk to your group about it. And it asks, yeah, it's like an interactive thing with photos and information. Yeah.
That's great. We can put all the links for them in the description,
yeah,
so people can easily find them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about conversations really, and spreading awareness and having confidence in us, keeping the love, spreading the word.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, it just is quite disconnected right now. And we've done, you know, we're working with the uni. We've gone in and done big presentations there, and the SAB officers are working with us for to design some stuff. And at the college, and we're doing at the moment, we're just working on a project which is going to go out to primary schools. It's like making a quilt, and they're making quilts of their community. We're designed so there will be things, it's just starting to come out now. There will be more kind of like interactive things. So yeah, coming up in the next couple of weeks, there'll be a chance to contribute to the game of Bradford. So we've commissioned impact gamers to make to do a little bit of kind of like coding and design work with young people, and then we're going to make a little, there's going to be like a level for every postcode of Bradford, and then you'll be able to go on and play the games. And it's like old school style games. So next week we're launching the first bit of that. So that'll be a nice way to like have little bits of input in something that will become a bigger game.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So people out there, if you've got ideas, get them in, spread the word, spread the love, like you said.
It's really good to talk. I hope it's not felt like I've been elusive. I think it is hard to get it, like, because it's all about hoping and dreaming. And because we're in COVID, it's difficult sometimes for it to feel tangible, but like there's so much going on behind the scenes, and like we said, conversations with museums and galleries and the mills and the schools, and you know, we're really trying to learn as much as we can. But yeah, I think social media at the moment is the way, and we've got a newsletter as well, so you can sign up to that, and that goes out with our news, but also other different arts and culture news. Yeah,
that's great.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to doing a series of interviews along the way up until the moment we win.
That'd be wicked.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thanks very much, mate.